Why teach Batman? He's from a kid's comic. What literary value could he possibly have? Well, I'm here to tell you that there's untapped gold in these books. Created by Bob Kane, debuting in Detective Comics number 39 in 1939, the Masked Crusader is now 75 years old. Throughout his career, Batman has gone through many incarnations, from dark and brooding to campy and comical. He's had radio shows, TV shows, movies, cartoons, video games, even a musical production. Even if you've never read a comic, everyone knows who Batman is. He's one of the few comic book superheroes, along with Spider-Man and Superman, who are genuinely a part of Americana. A quick Google search yields a multitude of already constructed lesson plans built around Batman stories. The idea of including a Batman book or two as part of your teaching plans has become much easier to comprehend when you take a look at some of the reasons that I will detail here while using a Batman story. The Long Halloween, to help make my points, is a really good idea. First off, a little history on the story. The Long Halloween was written by Jeff Loeb and illustrated by Tim Sale. It was originally published in 13-issue miniseries in 1996 and 1997. The story takes place in the early parts of Batman's crime-fighting career and is told over the course of a year, with each issue taking place in a different month sequentially down the line. The main story is that there is a mysterious killer who is murdering mobsters in Gotham on holidays. The killer strikes and leaves a theme memento behind at the crime. While the story is fundamentally a mystery, there are also other elements in play. Batman is in the infancy of his crime-fighting career, so he's still unsure who he can trust. He feels that he has an ally in Captain Gordon, a relationship that only solidifies throughout the Batman mythos as you go along, but he's unsure of District Attorney Harvey Dent or Catwoman, who might be pursuing her own agenda. Adding to the mystery and story are appearances by many famous Batman villains, such as the Joker, Poison Ivy, and Scarecrow, to name a few. And adding all that together, you are left with a story that is constantly listed as one of the best Batman stories ever told. But why teach it? First off, its graphic novel is one of its biggest assets, not a liability. Graphic novels are more and more becoming accepted as viable forms of literature. They are being included more and more in classrooms also. The mixture of pictures and text provide an easy way to help struggling readers enter and immerse themselves in a story world. The Long Halloween, artist Tim Sale creates a world that is dark but vibrant in the contrasts that it depicts. Since Batman operates at night, the book is filled with shadows, making use of light and color that make the color stand out even more. One of these examples is right here. Where you see the darkness that is Batman in the shadows accented differently with the light of the Calendar Man, who is incarcerated, and he's in a room that's all light and stuff, but there's still some shadow around for Batman to play and live with. Another example of good use of color of black and white, and this is one of my personal favorite shots of the book. It might be hard to see on the camera, but is of the Scarecrow riding away on a horse, and you notice the blues of the horse's saddle stand out against the black, and then you throw in this reddish purple background that makes the nighttime seem even more omnipresent and always there. By immersing yourself more in the storyline, you're able to relate to the book a little bit more, thus increasing the reader's effectiveness. Another reason for reading The Long Halloween is that it can be a great way to introduce readers to a type of story that is new to them. At its heart, The Long Halloween is a mystery. Who is Holiday? If students have not had much experience reading mysteries, The Long Halloween could get them experience reading a mystery before they read something a little bit more canonical like Sherlock Holmes or something. Knowing the elements of certain types of stories can aid in reading other books of the same genre. Now, The Long Halloween is not only a murder mystery. This book deals with a variety of themes that are prevalent in many other forms of literature. Themes like trust, family, and justice are also explored here. Batman is trying to figure out who he can trust in his mission to fight crime. Is Harvey Dent an ally, or another facet of a much larger problem? What are Catwoman's motives, and whose side is she on? Are just two of the questions of trust that run throughout the story. The idea of family is also played out in the Mother's Day and Father's Day chapters in the novel, showing different ways that family is at the heart of most of these characters' actions. Seeing Bruce Wayne, Batman, work through the untimely death of his parents, and how the Gordon family is trying to make a life in Gotham, and how the Dents are also trying to do the same thing, but it's not quite working out the same for them. Even the father-daughter relationship between two of the gangsters in the story help to provide emotional heart and connection in this tale. Adding in the concept of justice and the question of, are these people who are being killed getting what they deserve? They are gangsters after all, and there are plenty of things to talk about in this comic book. A great class project would be to pair this book with something that utilizes the same themes, such as To Kill a Mockingbird, and to talk about how these different themes are portrayed differently throughout the books and what each book has to say about them. Lastly, another reason for this book should be included in the classroom because it is fun to read. The mystery can pull the reader in, but the themes that I mentioned above also make the reader stay and want to find out the story until the end. It is the joy of discovering a story about a character that everyone knows that makes it priceless. The Long Halloween might seem like an unconventional choice for classroom inclusion, but it is embracing unconventional choices that we can open up reading for even more students.